welcome back. Hey, we live in full effect from Live from the Bench, Off the Bench podcast, man. I know it's been a minute. I know it's been a while since y'all last seen my face, since y'all last got an episode, since y'all last got an upload. But man, we back and we fully focused, man. I took some time off. I was on vacation a little bit. Things, stuff been going on behind the scenes, things like that. Uh, more to come. More to come in store. I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret, but that's for a different topic, different situation. But here we here to talk about basketball today. We're here to talk about numerous different things. So before we go ahead and get into this episode, cause it's gonna be a good episode for sure. We got free agency, we got USA basketball coming up. Uh, Power. I know y'all watch Power, man. Power Book goes the season finale, the mid season finale. It came on not too long ago, a couple days ago. We're here to talk about it. I know y'all love y'all some Power. I love me some Power too. So we here to talk about it. We're gonna dissect it. We're gonna get into it. I want to see how y'all feel about it. Before we do all that, y'all gotta make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit that hit that comment section. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button for sure. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. Hey man, tell him that this young boy over here, he getting to it. He talking that S. That's SHIT over here on this podcast. Hey man, I'm gonna wait on y'all till y'all do that. Y'all gotta make sure y'all subscribe. We trying to get to 300 subscribers by the end of the month. That's the goal. 300 subscribers by the end of the month. That's the goal. I know we can do it. We like 12, 13 subscribers away. Hit that subscribe button, man. But nonetheless, let's gonna get into it, man. Some of the free agency dropped the ball, and I ain't gonna lie. We gonna discuss. I'm gonna discuss to me who has had the best off season and who's winning the off season right now. It was free agency going on, all these trades and free agents, these signings and things of that nature. And I'm gonna let y'all know right now. This might be a hot take, but I don't know if it's a hot take because I know a lot of people will agree with me. The Philadelphia 76ers, they winning the NBA offseason right now. Yeah. They re-signed Tyrese Maxey. He showed you what he can do on the big stage with a higher increased role. His future is getting bright. He's steady improving and growing. Now you go in and bring somebody like Paul George to the squad. You got Tobias no show having ass off the damn squad. What I've been preaching all damn year, especially all playoffs long. Get Tobias up out of Philly. It didn't matter. He had a Philly jersey on, but damn near he was a opposing team best player every night. I don't know what the hell Tobias was doing. Some damn shit. Garbage. Anytime you need to count on him, you can count on him not to not count on him. That's the only thing he was good for. But yeah, I know Paul George. I know a lot of people like to get his flack on Paul George. Like he went to OKC. He didn't do this with OKC. He went to the Clippers. He couldn't get it done with the Clippers. Yeah, you right. He couldn't get it done with the Clippers because he wasn't the best player. Kawhi Leonard, he didn't get it done either. You couldn't count on Kawhi Leonard. Now I know a lot of people like to say Joel Embiid this, Joel Embiid that, but hey, this is my pushback argument on that. I think Joel Embiid, his workload, his work toll will be cut short now. He don't have to expend and do so much. You know, I feel like this is probably one of the better defensive teams that he had since he been in Philly. Outside of the year Jimmy was there. When Jimmy, Ben Simmons, and it was him, this is probably his second best defensive unit. Damn sure his best offensive unit that he got. You went inside Paul George, a three-level scorer, a 3-and-D wing, a wing player over there. You needed a guy like that who can come in and get you 20 to 25 points, 30 points if needed. Yeah, that's Paul George. We ain't finna act like Paul George no scrub. Paul George, that boy. Smooth criminal. Best handle 6'9" and up. And I'm standing on it. Paul George, he's one of them. He definitely like that. Now he going Philly just to show everybody, just to wake everybody up and showcase what he can do when he in the fit role for his position for in his career. He not coming looking up to be the main guy. And a lot of the out of these 5 years with the Los Angeles Clippers, I can count maybe with three out of the 3 out of the 5 years, 4 out of the 5 years, where Paul George had to carry more workload than he expected coming in to when he was signing with it. Kawhi going down with injury. Obviously, that's the main. Kawhi going down with injury. Kawhi Leonard supposed to be a cyborg, supposed to have been the best player on the team, is the best player on the team, and you just couldn't count on him. So you asking for um Paul George production to go up, his usage to go up, and still give you that same defense on the other end. That's taxing. That's taxing. Not giving him an excuse by any stretch because he was playing like garbage. James Harden was the best player in these playoffs for the Los Angeles Clippers this season, this year, this postseason. Unacceptable. Now shout out to James Harden. I ain't saying he no scrub or nothing, but Paul George, damn it, you can be playing better than what you was playing. You can give me 6 points and one. You gave me double-digit points, and I think out of 6 games against Dallas, you gave me six. You gave me single digits in 2 of the 6 games. That's unacceptable. Here, I think you gave me shit 13 points in one of the other in the other game. But I think this would be the perfect fit for Paul George over there with Joel Embiid, with Tyrese Maxey. Be that third option, be that security blanket, which he can fall back into that role. I think he will fall into that role seamlessly. You know, can be able to shoot the three, get to the mid range, get to the paint. Like I said, he can defend. Uh, Only thing that kind of get me a little skeptical about Paul George is, you watch Paul George podcast, he gets to talking about something. He don't want to do all the dirty things, don't want to be the dirty work guy, do all this and that and this and that. Shit, what the hell you think you finna do with the damn Philadelphia 76ers? Now, I'm not saying you're gonna be the primary point of attack defender or the main primary defender on these guys, but I think, hell, hey, hey, you gonna have to do something. You still gonna be out there defending somebody. I understand you got Kelly Oubre still on the roster. Um, he probably gonna take the main assignment. You gonna probably take the second best player, but still, you're gonna have to find a way to win. Now, you at this point in your time, your career, where it's all about winning. Damn everything else. It's about winning. And I think him signing with Philly gave him the best chance with a weaker conference in the Eastern Conference, where it's really just Boston and everybody else fighting to get to that number 2 spot. But yeah, I like what 76 did. Re-signing Tyrese Maxey, make here you lock him in long term. You got Paul George long term for 4 or 5 years. Um, you sign Eric Gordon, a scorer off the bench who could come in and be a microwave type of player. Give you some type of production, give you another ball handler, give you another shooter, spacing, floor spacing, and a certified bucket. He is a little streaky. That's why I call him a microwave player. But he can definitely come in certain game, knock down shots, hit you about 3 or 4 threes, get you 15, 16 points off the bench, and that's what Philly need. When Tyrese Maxey go down, or I mean not go down, but when he sub out, you still need somebody who can be on the bench that can be able to, come in and make key plays. I think they did that with Eric Gordon. They went and signed Andre Drummond, which they desperately needed last year, was a backup bid. That's why I think Joel Embiid was so damn taxed. That's why I'm saying I think Joel Embiid, we like to be funny about, will he be healthy? Will he be healthy? Will he be healthy? But I just think his workload is gonna drop significantly than he previously had. You know, um, like I said, he got better than one of the better defensive team that he had. So he not gonna have to expand that much energy running side to side, running up and down. Putting a lot of pressure on his legs like that for a course of an 82 game season. I don't think he gonna have the offensive workload. You've seen what Tyrese Maxey is capable of doing. We know what Paul George is. He showed it time and time again. He's a vet in this league. He know how to score, 3 level score, polished score. Uh, you know who he is. I definitely think the Philadelphia 76 days kind of rounding out this roster pretty decently. I think one thing was flying under the radar right now is Nicholas Batum. Nicholas Batum was that connector for this unit. Letting him go, they gonna feel it. And it's gonna be hard to replace him in what's up on the free agency market, and the type of talent that's available to you. But I still got to give the 76ers. I like what they did. They definitely improved their team. Uh, they got wings. They got a couple wings now. They got a backup center to help Joel Embiid where you don't have to play so many minutes. Um, a playable backup center at that. They went and got Eric Gordon, somebody who can, provide scoring and floor spacing off the bench, who can, you can run different lineups with him. You know, uh, and he's a vet too as well. Had that type of locker room presence and things of that nature. And he's pretty familiar with Daryl Morey. So yeah, definitely think the 76ers they is winning the free agency so far. And that's my number one team who's winning the free agency. Who's winning the offseason. Number two team, I don't think this is gonna be no surprise by anybody. The OKC Thunder. First they started off the free agency before any team did by trading Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso. Now, when I first looked at this trade, I kind of was like, I don't know how I feel. It's 50-50, but definitely think the OKC Thunder definitely got better with making this move because Josh Giddey was unplayable in this year's playoffs. And really towards the back end of the season. After them allegations came out about, we already know what. I'm not gonna bring it up because not my cup of tea. And we're not here for that. We here for talk basketball, but you know, Alex Caruso, I definitely think he fit the system. He fit what OKC trying to do. He's a good on ball defender. One of the best on ball defenders, one of the best perimeter defenders that we have in the league. So you add that to the group where we already got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You still got Chet Holmgren. You still got J Dub. Still got Luke Dort. So you got defenders, versatile defenders all over the floor, all over the court with that unit right there. I pretty much like it. The only thing why I said it kind of get left me a little skeptical because like Alex Caruso, you kind of already got guys that do the same thing as Alex Caruso. Like I said, J Dub, uh, you got Luke Dort, you got Casey Wallace off the bench. You know, you got Kendrick. You know, I feel like they had guys that already fit that role that Alex Caruso is trying to fit. But at the same time, I understand it because he's a premier on ball defender. He's a veteran, seasoned veteran. He's an NBA champion as well, so he can bring that type of experience, that type of pedigree that they need in that locker room. OKC is a very young team. It was the number one seed last season. They made it to the second round to the semifinals. Ultimately lost in 6 games against the Dallas Mavericks, which the Dallas Mavericks went to the NBA Finals. So no shame in that. So you adding a piece like this, and Alex Caruso, who's gonna shore up the defense, who's gonna be probably a better offensive player, all around offensive player than Josh Giddey at this stage. He's a better cutter. I think he's a better shooter, even though Alex Caruso not just a shooter himself, but he definitely improved over the years and making him more respectable in that aspect. So I definitely like that move that they did right there. You know, and I think the main thing was going to get Isaiah Hartenstein from the New York Knicks. You know, they desperately needed size. Outside of Chet Holmgren. Jalen Williams, he was all right, but he's more so like a four. And I think with adding Isaiah Hartenstein, I understand that OKC they is a 5-out team. They like to drive and kick and do all these they like to spread you out, Paul, and they like to do drive and kick. Trying to get to the try to get into the 2 feet into the paint, drive. If they got an open shot, take it. If not, do what they do and try to get into the paint. But I just think with Isaiah Hartenstein, you can run so many different. It makes it more versatile. Add more versatility to their roster. Cause now you can put Chet Holmgren, as a roamer, as a floater now at the 4, and put Hartenstein at the 5. Same thing with J Dub. Same thing with J Will. You can place him at the 4. You can still go, him at the 5. You still can go into your same identity. I just think now you add more flexibility with adding Isaiah Hartenstein, who's a good passer, who's a good finisher, who's a good rebounder, who's gonna give you tremendous effort night in and night out. He showed you in the playoffs what he's capable of doing. In the increased role, in the starting position role with Mitchell Robinson going down for the New York Knicks, and he held his own. Uh, definitely played great in that playoffs in that playoff series. So, OKC adding a team. OKC adding a guy like that to their roster where they was already the number one seed in the West last year, and they added two pieces that's gonna help their team. It's not like a slight. Those are two moves that definitely helps them, and it definitely made them get better this offseason. So I gotta tip my hat to them. The number three team that I would say that's winning off season is the Boston Celtics. They made no moves. Yeah, but they still the number three team to me. They win in the offseason because they made no moves. But what they did do is re-sign all the key pieces, and that's what you need. As you see, the Denver Nuggets. After they won championship, they let Bruce Brown walk. They didn't bring the band back together. They let Bruce Brown walk. Um, Ultimately, they lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves this season in the second round. You see, after this, they just lost KCP, another valuable piece, and what they had going to their championship team, to their team in general. Uh, and then you just look at the former teams, like you look at the Warriors. When the Warriors was winning their chips, they weren't going. The key pieces they kept them together. They weren't going out and be like, we can do it without them. No, hell no. You help us win the championship, we're gonna bring you back. We gonna do whatever we can to make sure we got these guys, and we gonna try to get better. The Denver Nuggets, the GM, they gotta stop being so damn cheap. Shit. But yeah, the Boston Celtics, I definitely think they having a good offseason just off the strength of because they bringing everybody back. You seen how dominant that this postseason was for the Boston Celtics, and how fairly easy it was for them. And to bring them all back, they still young, they still up and coming. Now got Drew Holiday back on contract, Derek White back on contract. You spent damn near $1 billion for this team to come back, and I think all the money was well worth spent. If I'm the Boston Celtics, if I'm the GM, I'm Brad Stevens. The money was well worth spent because those are guys we gonna need moving forward. Those are guys that helped us win the championship, and these are guys we feel like that can help us keep winning championship and keep us on top over everybody else in the East at least. You know, so I definitely got to give them that. Now, those are my top three teams. I understand. DeMar DeRozan, he has been traded to the Sacramento Kings. Klay Thompson has been he signed with the Dallas Mavericks. And to me, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna start with the Sacramento Kings because I feel like both of those moves, the Dallas move with Klay Thompson and with DeMar DeRozan to the Kings, I feel like those moves, yes, it improved their team. Yes, I'm not gonna go by. I'm not gonna on any stretch saying they got worse. I'm not saying that they stayed in the same spot. I'm referring to the Sacramento Kings right now, adding DeMar DeRozan. Adding DeMar DeRozan to me with the Sacramento Kings, all they did was the kind of like the cha cha slide. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. They just made all they did was take one step forward. In the West, I don't think DeMar DeRozan is the piece that I'm looking at is like, okay, yeah, the Kings they can actually make a real playoff push now with DeMar DeRozan. Now I understand what DeMar DeRozan brings to the table with his offensive prowess. A mid-range specialist. He can get a bucket, which I feel like the Kings they definitely needed like a wing scorer. Harrison Barnes just wasn't getting the job done, and that's the upgrade in itself. And I understand that who they replaced and who they got. You know, like I said, the Sacramento Kings they definitely got better, but in the sense of like the conference they in and where they trying to head to, I don't really think this like a needle mover. This not a needle mover move to me because now you kind of add more problems on top of the problem that you already had. The Monty Sabonis, he not more pretty much a floor spacer. De'Aaron Fox, he tried to increase his 3-point percent. I mean his 3-point attempts. He tried to shoot more threes this offseason. But hell, I'm gonna just say it. The Sacramento Kings, they got no damn space. They got a spacing issue that they need to figure out with adding DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan is a hell of a player, yes. Yes, he's a hell of a player. He can get to the mid range, but who the hell gonna be spacing the floor? Everything gonna be clogged up if I'm the Sacramento Kings. Now I understand. Mike Brown, he one of the best coaches to me in this league. Uh, I think he gonna be able to figure something out where he gonna be able to make a system where he gonna make it run smoothly with the Monty Sabonis. Cause Hey, you got to keep in mind, Mike Brown, he was with the Warriors for a long time when they was winning these championships. So he's seen the system, and it's kind of like the Sacramento Kings. It kind of got the Warriors system, but in just in reverse. Instead of like shooting a lot of threes, but they still got that high pace, high tempo, kind of up and down running gun type of game plan, type of offense. Kind of like will mirror the Warriors. It just they don't have the 3-point shooting. And I think that's a problem. DeMar DeRozan is not a 3-point shooter. Yes, he can shoot the three, but that's not what he's trying to get into. Same thing, De'Aaron Fox. Like I said, De'Aaron Fox, I'm not gonna say he had a down year, but I feel like from De'Aaron Fox last year, from De'Aaron Fox 2 years ago, was completely different from the one that won Clutch Player of the Year from this player last year, because he was trying to make it where the offense can open up a little bit more. He was shooting more threes instead of getting downhill, attacking the basket, getting to his mid range, uh, being more true to himself. You still got some bonus out there, and I still think they still need a big man. You know, when when Sabonis get in foul trouble, who you got throwing out there? Even Sabonis, he's the liability defensively. We done seen this time and time again. Um, even though he got Anthony Davis number, but you got to think, man. We going up against the OKCs. You going up against the Timberwolves. You going against the Denver Nuggets. Uh, the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm gonna get to them a little bit later in the episode because Memphis is back, and that's one of my three teams this year that I'm rooting for because Josh, that boy, he is one of them. Don't play with that. So I'm gonna get to them later, but I just don't think this move is just what everybody makes it to be. I do think it's a good fit in terms of, like I said, I think Mike Brown will be able to orchestrate a system and a structure around those guys to where it be able to where he can make it work. But I just don't see it, being a move where it's like, all right, the Kings they can go to the Western Conference Finals this year. They can go to the finals this year. They can possibly win it all. DeMar DeRozan, no disrespect to DeMar DeRozan, I don't think he moved that type of needle for him. And that's how I'm looking at. That's how I'm looking at this all season. I'm not looking at it from, okay, yeah, they just got a big time name, in DeMar DeRozan. They got an all-star caliber player. Do he fit? Do he fit the team, and do he fit what the team needed? You know, obviously, you got rid of Harrison Barnes. You replace a piece that wasn't good for a piece that is good, and I understand that. But that's just my take on it. I would give that move. Realistically, I would probably give that move maybe like a C plus. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna be that disrespectful. I'm gonna give it a B minus. That's a B. That was a B minus move, and I understand it. But damn, who that? DeMar DeRozan. Miles Bridges got 3 years, 75 million. This nigga DeMar DeRozan got 3 years, 71 million. Shit, Curry. I don't know if he took a discount or what. The Los Angeles state taxes. DeMar DeRozan. You got it. Hey, we gonna see how it look during the season, but I just don't see it right now happening. I just really don't like that move too much. But kind of the same thing how I feel about Clay to Dallas. Obviously, a lot of people like to say Derrick Jones Jr. and PJ Washington, they weren't making their threes and all this thing in the NBA Finals. Now they get somebody like Clay Thompson who gonna be able to make threes and do all these things and do all that. Listen, brother, you traded away length, you traded away youth, you traded away athleticism, shit that you need in the West to win. And you got Clay Thompson, who done had an Achilles injury, an ACL tour. You just come the Warriors. He been with the Warriors for I don't know how long. They was satisfied with bringing his ass off the bench. And damn all them numbers of what he shot from the field. What did your eyes tell you last season from Clay Thompson? He not the same defender, not the same player, just all around. And I don't like to say when people like he gonna get these new profound looks from Luka Doncic and all this. Nigga, he was playing with Steph. He was playing with Steph motherfucking Curry. Getting those same looks he finna get with Luka Doncic. The hell you mean, man? Stop that. I ain't trying to hear that, man. Who the hell gonna be sliding their feet between Luka, Kyrie, Klay Thompson, PJ Washington? Who defending? I want to know that who defending who? Because right now, if your best defender in your starting line of PJ Washington, he's gonna be guarding the primary guy. Lamb chops, what's candy yams, greens, collard greens, ham, turkey. Everybody licking their chops at that. Damn sure don't let Klay Thompson. He not sliding them puppies like he used to no more. You know, and I'm not gonna let this get out to the Mavs Twitter because Mavs Twitter fans crazy. But Derek Lively, understand him, but you not asking Derek Lively to match up with Jason Tatum for a course of a 48-minute game. You just not asking him to guard with Shea Alexander, Anthony Edwards for a course of a 48 game stretch in a span. So stop that. The move is good. I don't the move that I like the most from the Dallas Mavericks was to Najee Harris. You know, hard nosed, on ball defender. He's a little bit undersized, but he's physical. He's a pest, hell of a on ball defender. If he can get the three-point shot going, you know, probably that's probably the best pickup that they had. But y'all just relying on Klay Thompson just to solve Dallas everything, all their problems, what they had in the NBA Finals. It wasn't offense what lost them the NBA Finals. It was their defense. They couldn't guard Boston. And adding Klay Thompson to the roster is not gonna change nothing. Like I said, you got smaller, you got smaller, slower, and less athletic. That's not good. That's not a good recipe for you change. Y'all made it to the NBA Finals by being a longer team, being a more athletic team, being a team that can defend. That's how you got to the NBA Finals in the first place. We seen how it was going before the trade deadline, before you got Daniel Gafford, before you had got PJ Washington. Then you see after you got those guys, when you actually had the personnel to do what y'all needed to do, and you kind of not saying you traded DG, not saying you traded PJ, but Derrick Jones Jr. was a good reason how they got to the point where they got to the end of the season. You know, he was basically the primary defender. You know, that 6'9" frame, long, lengthy, athletic. He can do many things on the court. He was streaky as hell with shooting a three, but listen though, Klay Thompson just sitting there. I don't. To me, he don't solve what Dallas problems. You know, did they get better? I feel the same way about the Kings. They took one step forward. You know, I'm not looking at that move and be like, yeah, them boys dangerous now. Like they got Klay Thompson. Like, ain't them boys unbeatable. You know what Luka playmaking? I'm not here for all that. I'm not believing in that hype because at the end of the day, you got Klay Thompson, you got Kyrie, you got Luka in that starting lineup. Who you asking to defend? No, I'm just well, y'all let me know in the comment section who y'all got defending. That's the only way they gonna win. Y'all keep trying to talk about Derrick Jones Jr. and these missed threes, PJ Washington and these missed threes, and man, what about Kyrie Irving these missed threes? What was he doing? And Luka defense and Klay Thompson, he don't fix the Dallas Mavericks problems what they had in the finals against the Celtics. He not fixing that. This roster that they got right now, if they play the Boston Celtics, nothing changes. I still will have Boston in 5 games, maybe 6. They probably will win game 3, which was very winnable in it, but they couldn't get stops. That's what it come down to. And you traded Derrick Jones Jr., your primary defender, who's more athletic, who's younger, and taller. I just don't understand it. In the West, that's what you need. You need bigger playable wings. You need athleticism, and you need youth. Klay Thompson don't check none of those boxes, but I'm gonna let y'all have that one. Right now, I just feel like you got I said Philly, they did what they did. Obviously, I like what OKC did to improve their team around the edges. Those are guys that's like those not all-star caliber players, but like I said, you don't need the big time names to be able to be a good team. In my opinion, they got guys that fit the system, that fit the role, they understand how to play the game and how to win games. They added I'm speaking of OKC, they added veteran presence, that will help a young team like OKC was what they needed, you know. So they went and got two veteran guys who could come in and help them. That's good. Boston, they came, they didn't make no moves, but they re-signed all the guys that helped them win a championship. And that's what you need. Especially a championship team, all the championship teams to me that looking to be serious about winning another title, going back to back, they brought the band back, and that's what they did. Uh they got the best starting five in the league. So to me, those are the top three teams. Obviously they got better. Obviously, you still got the New York Knicks. I like what they did. It's just the only thing about the New York Knicks is just we gotta have an honest conversation. Yes, they got the wings. They got Mikal Bridges. They got OG Wananobi. Um, they got Josh Hart. They got Julius Randle. Dante DiVincenzo. Obviously, Jalen Brunson. He the head of Snake. You know, but outside of Jalen Brunson, who do I really trust to go get a bucket? Mikal Bridges, nah. I do feel like Mikal Bridges in a perfect suited role for him instead of being in with the Brooklyn Nets, being a number one option, primary focus. Um, Now he can go back to being a third option. Not getting that much defensive coverage. He can just make plays off Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. But I'm just looking at the New York Knicks team, and just who gonna be able to score the ball outside of Jalen Brunson? And that kind of was the case. Obviously, Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, they did their thing. Salute to them. They definitely got a deeper roster than they had last season. They need to find out about that backup center position. Who can help Mitchell Robinson just in case, God forbid. But just in case if anything happened to him, during the season or during the playoffs, like it was this year. You need that security blanket at that backup center position. And I just think the only way I can see the New York Knicks making that type of jump that everybody expect them is if Julius Randle come play the type of basketball that he was playing last season prior to him getting hurt. Obviously, it was some game that he was a little shaky, but for the most part, I would say like 85% of the season, Julius Randle, he was playing at an all-star caliber level. Shooting the ball efficiently, being a bully, getting to the mid range, wasn't settling for that weak 3-point shot that he got. He was getting to the paint, and he understood his game. And I think he need to he need to accept the terms of understanding that this is a new era. This is a new day in New York for and me being in a Nick uniform. Excuse me. This is Jalen Brunson team. Point blank period. This is Jalen Brunson team. He just needs to accept that. Um, Once he accept that and come to terms with that and understand, you still gonna get, your second option looks. You still gonna get that's the best thing for him right now. I just don't think he'll be able to lead a team, but he still can be able to help a team get to that over the hump. And he's what they need. He seen last year how deep they got paused into the NBA postseason last year, and he got to watch it from a clear eye view. He was on the sideline when the team lost. He was on the top sideline when the team won that series against the 76ers. So he can see where he can be impactful in areas and in ways that we might not have seen, but he can see himself in injecting himself into the lineup, into this team. Uh, but yeah, New York, they definitely a good team, a good ball club. I think they tied with Philly as the second best team in the East. Philly not as deep, but I trust Philly more offensively. And like I said, they do got playable wings. They got Kelly Oubre, who you can throw on, you know, Jalen Brown. You got Paul George, who you can throw on Tatum. You still got Embiid, a big man. who can be able to get Kristaps Porzingis in foul trouble, Al Horford in foul trouble. They can be able to slow the game down where the Boston Celtics won't get as many possessions to get as many chances and opportunities on the offense side of the ball. And I think that's kind of like the formula what you need to be able to beat a team like that after they just gave out the blueprint on really how to win in today's NBA. You know, that's why I feel like OKC, they went and got two guys that help their identity, they help their infrastructure, and it can help them, be a more of a well-oiled machine. They help, and those are two guys that lean into their identity, and that's why I think Paul George can help the Sixers fully tap into what their identity is. I don't think they know what their identity is going to be, right now. But I'm saying once they get into, training camp, preseason, and once they start playing from game 1 to game 82, and obviously you go into the postseason, you should have your identity down packed. You know who you are and how we want to play night in, night out, regardless of on who's on the court. That's the most important thing because with Boston, regardless of who on the court, they know what they trying to get to. They trying to get into a driving kick. They're gonna beat you with the pass, but they trying to get threes. They know what they trying to get into. It don't matter if Tatum off the court, he not playing today. It don't matter if Jalen Brown not playing today. Drew Holiday, they regardless who on the court, they gonna play the same way night in, night out. Regardless if shots falling or not, they living and dying with that because that's who they are. That's what you got. That's what you got to be. Same thing with the OKC Thunder, number one seed in the West last year. They trying to get into a drive and kick. They run a 5-out scheme, 5 out, 5 out, 2 feet in the paint, kick out, where they gotta close out on that, and they drive and get to the paint. They know they regardless who on the court, they know what they trying to get into. You need an identity in today's NBA. How you gonna play, and night in, night out, regardless of who's on the court. So once you can lean into and tap into your identity, which I think the 76ers can do now with Paul George, I think they'll be very dangerous. Um, let's move on, man. USA basketball. Well, before I get into USA basketball, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Like I said, with the Kings, don't not really moved by it. The Mavericks not really moved by. I understand that they went to the finals last year. Well, we just seen what happened to the Denver Nuggets this year. When they won, did they go back? Hell no. No, sir, they didn't. You know how hard it is to get back twice and try to win back to back? Not as easy as you think, man. That's why it's only been a select few teams in NBA history to win back to back titles. So, but the Memphis Grizzlies, there's a team in the West to look out for. Ja Morant, he is back. 12 is back. And he here to come and remind everybody who he is. He is that boy. I'm trying to I ain't gonna if you ask me, Ja top 5 player in the NBA. I understand he was suspended 25 games. When he came back, he played like 6, 7 games. He hurt his hand, he was out for the rest of the season. Who man, first game back from a 25 game suspension. He gave you 30 points against Herb Jones, one of the premier defenders in the NBA we have today in this league. Gave him 30 with a game winner. The first game back from suspension. 25 games, he was just at the crib. His first game back, he came on a roll against Herb Jones. Gave him 30 with a game winner. I'm trying to tell y'all, but y'all gonna stop playing with y'all. I understand he got into a little trouble in doing all this and that, and y'all like to put everybody else on this pedestal, right? SGA, and rightfully so. He had the type of season that he had. He should have been MVP. Rightfully so. Y'all talking about him. I love Ant to death. Second in command once KD retired. He know he gonna wear my favorite. That he gonna be my favorite player. But Ja him. Ja is him.